I'm Daytona Delia. This is my digital portfolio project for semester 2 for biology. And yeah, let's get started. So here's my concept showcase. So for one of the projects we did in the class was about the one of the systems that my teacher had given us, and we had to compare it to homeostasis. So I compared it to the respiratory system, and I talked about how the respiratory system like gives out air to the rest of the body, so the rest of the body has air and stuff. So yeah. So can you explain it? Naked mole rats are native to parts of Africa, unlike their relatives, including uh, guinea pigs and porcupines. Naked mole rats have long rat-like tails and pink and wrinkly skin that is nearly hairless. They spend most of their entire life in darkness, living underground community burrows with an average of a 30-year lifespan. Naked mole rats live longer than any other rodents. Naked mole rats communities are organized into caste systems. A caste system places people or organisms in groups according to jobs and roles in society. There are two primary groups in naked mole rat colony are the reproducers and the non-reproducers. Typically, the colony has one breeding female, the queen, and a few breeding males. The non-reproducers, both male and female, will never mate. They are the workers of a colony. They carry food, build nests, dig tunnels, and care for the queen and her young. The significantly larger queen steps over the workers as she moves to the burrow using chemical orders to establish her dominance. So the question is, how could a population such as a naked mole rat evolve into the point where they're not all individuals that reproduce? So my claim is that my my claim is that they just evolved over time because they mainly live underground, and that they still need to reproduce and stuff, but not as much, and that they lived for like 30 years. So here's my evidence. So some background knowledge is like different reproduction, the way that they work, how they evolved, and evolved populations. Some key vocabulary words are homeostasis, which is your body response way of trying to keep your body warm or cool. So say that you're cold, you'll start shivering, or that you're hot, you'll start sweating. Behavior, like behavior among communities, and then communication, like how animals or we talk with each other. Species, the types of species and how they live. Organisms are like species, but they're all different. The habitat where they live at. Genes, like, so say you're dominant for blue eyes, not dominant, because dominant for brown eyes, and then you have a gene in there that has a recessive trait of blue eyes, so that's part of your genes. And then population genetics, which is how population genetics. So my reasoning. So if we go back a few slides, it says right here that with an average of a 30 life year span, naked mole rats live longer than any other rodents. They spend almost their entire life living in darkness and living underground in communities, and they each have different roles. So that's part of my evidence. So going back to the other slide, another type of animal population that does something like this are bees, because they have one queen bee, which fertilizes eggs, and the others are workers. So that's how I see it. So they evolved because they don't live, they live a long life, and they still need to reproduce, but they don't need to reproduce as much because there's like no predators trying to get them. So my reflection, throughout the semester I learned a lot about DNA and how we determine genotypes and how exercises can make our hearts healthier, and also how animals evolve with like their fur, like the beach mouse swap that we did, like how predators can make a certain species evolve to keep them alive longer. Here are my citations. Thank you for watching. Bye. Oh.